What we do here is go back.
Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Lost Media podcast. Today we're talking about Shrek's Lost Media, the original version of Shrek from the 1990s, and it's pretty extensive. There's a lot to cover today. Before I start, I'm going to explain that I actually covered this Lost Media back in 2016. It was the very first topic and the very first thing that I ever covered in any of my Lost Media videos, and it's amazing how much it's evolved since then, how many new things have come out. I think I talked about the original storyboard art of Shrek with Chris Farley and Chris Farley's voiceovers in there, and I included that, I think, in the video. And now you look and there's just so much more stuff available. There's more Chris Farley voiceover work from Shrek that's been released with other test animations. There's heaps of stuff. I've got All Things Lost video playing behind me because he just includes it all perfectly in order. Please go and check out his video and subscribe to his channel. He just details it all in perfect order with his updated version of Shrek's Lost Media. That one pretty much discovers or, talks about all the best pieces of Shrek's Lost Media from the 90s that have been found since then. So first I'm going to talk about the Shrek picture. It's a bit unrelated to the original 1990s image. The Shrek picture, that's a great description. It's an ad that was supposedly lost, and all that's left is a screenshot of him holding a Panasonic Lumix camera, I think it is, which is the camera that's recording this right now, weirdly enough. I'm staring at the similar camera doing that. And people don't know if it's from an actual commercial or if it's just a fan-made screen art or, some sort of weird stuff. Fan-made screen art, great. It's supposedly from a commercial though, because there were other, Panasonic Lumix and other camera promotions with similar Shrek characters holding cameras and stuff. So this one really seems like it's from a real thing, but we still haven't been able to find the actual commercial itself of Shrek holding the camera. It's just that screenshot. And, a lot of people have guessed that they just use that one, still for their posters in different places. And that's probably more on the money, I think. I don't think there's an actual full commercial for the camera brand of Shrek, and that's a still from the commercial. I think that's just a still that they came up with on its own, or they got an animator to put together, and that's pretty much it. That's my opinion on all there is to it, but we're going to have to wait and find out. I will do an updated video if there is more released on that. But yeah, it's probably just from a poster that was, circulated around in regards to the camera sales. So interesting one, but not the main topic of discussion here today on Shrek's Lost Media, because we're talking about the original version of Shrek, the Chris Farley version of Shrek, with the terrifying concept art with Shrek. Nightmare fuel. He's nightmare fuel. He's some sort of demon, sleep paralysis demon compared to the 2001 movie. I mean, he just looks terrifying. And it started with just some frames, like 16 stills of these scenes of the I Feel Good scene where he's dancing in, the alleyway. And there's also the scene where he's, grabbing the guy, the dude who's trying to rob him and throwing him up in the air. There was just a few stills of that. And then all of a sudden, someone finds a Vimeo upload from the original animator and we get more stuff. We get actual, proper full scenes. Still, I think that was more scenes of just 15 frames. It was very patchy with the frames. And then I think not long after that, the actual scenes were uploaded. The real scenes which are playing behind me of in full frames in full motion of the test animations of Shrek grabbing this hooded, this guy who was, the thief of the town. I don't know what he's called. And he was meant to be, I guess, the antagonist in that part of the film. Very, very cool to see. I actually tried doing 2 recordings of this podcast before, where I started it with, "It's time for the punishment," because someone did a voiceover of this animation, and voiceover Shrek saying, "It's time for the punishment," and then he grabs the guy and the guy goes flying and goes, "Ah!" Just meme worthy, really. It's great. I love the person. I love whoever did that as a legend, because that is not the original audio for that scene. It was actually mute when that was released, and someone has added voice acting to make it that much funnier. There is another one with Donkey. It looks like Donkey from, a lot of people said this, from Shrek 2, where he becomes a horse, a stallion baby. And it's like an original version for that, an original concept idea for him being the horse in the second movie. And it's just him going, "I'm free. I'm finally free. I can't believe it. Thank you. You don't know what you've done for me." Very strange, but very funny. It's just, they're all like, what I love about this Shrek Lost Media is this is enough for me, honestly. This is more than enough. The people, I mean, that one, by the way, guys, is the original voiceover that was intact from the 90s when this was created. That's the original. That's all from the original thing. The voiceover for Shrek saying "it's time for the punishment," some fan added that. But it's so cool that these have been uncovered, and the "it's time for the punishment" one, like, that's just. That's enough. We don't need any more from this movie. That is perfect. That 5 seconds of Shrek like leaning in and grabbing the guy and throwing him up in the air, that's fucking terrifying, but it's brilliant. It's awesome. That's all we need. It's just, I couldn't stop laughing and I couldn't stop replaying it, and I was just annoying people and sending it to them. It's a great clip, and it's so cool they've uncovered this. They also uncovered more test animations, if you're looking behind me, and you can see those, of Shrek. Just motion capture stuff, very early work. And there's some more Chris Farley animations, as I said, more Chris Farley voiceovers that have been released, that were recorded back in the day. So I think more stuff will be uncovered, even more stuff. I mean, this is like, there's almost just too much stuff to cover. As much as I wanted to just stay as the Shrek saying "time for the punishment" bit, so dumb. I'd love to see more stuff uncovered with this, and it's a special thing. We're so used to the 2001 Shrek movie, and I can honestly say this is completely different. This is a completely different vibe. Some of the script, some of the writing in it with Shrek talking about his parents, which is from the original book, and a lot of the Chris Farley voiceover work, especially when they're sitting down looking up at the moon. That one was, I think, released more recently than the one I looked at, 2016. That was like the first bit from the original Chris Farley Shrek that became known to everyone. And he's literally, the script is similar, but it's nowhere near that scene is nowhere near as good as the 2001 movie. There's all sorts of bits that kind of wreck the scene, in my opinion, when he just goes, "Don't mention my parents," and it's like, he just changes, like, he becomes more of a I guess angry, unrelatable Shrek than Shrek in the movie, where when he gets angry it's like, oh yeah, fair enough. But that scene definitely, you watch it from the movie and Shrek's calm and he's normal talking, and he's talking about his life in like a really, I guess I want to say relatable way to the audience, and that's why that scene works so well. But in this original test animation, he goes from shouting to talking quietly to shouting again, and it's like, you can tell it's such early, work for Shrek. But yeah, it's seeing these things uncovered. I'm sure the animators wouldn't like this, because it kind of ruins the magic of the 2001 film. But everyone wants to see what these stories look like before they were reworked. Everyone's fascinated in this stuff. I know I am. it does kind of change it a little bit, but it's very, very cool to see these original works from Shrek. And I do actually hope there's more released. I just love the meme-worthy nature of the ones that have already been released. They're so good. But there's all sorts of stuff. There's all sorts of Shrek updated Lost Media that I think is going to come out soon, and it's definitely worth looking out for, because it is time for the punishment. Oh my god! If there is more stuff, I will look at it in a Lost Media podcast. I'm not so familiar with doing multiple clips released on the same topic in a continuous recording on a podcast format. I'm better off at talking about the one thing. So if you watch this and you're thinking, oh, you've gone all over the place, you've gone from Shrek's Panasonic picture to this to that, I apologize if it's a bit out of whack. Still trying to get better at these, still trying to become very, very engaging and very, very good at doing a continuous recording and making them really, really good podcasts. So thank you guys for watching. Please do not be afraid to put in your suggestions in the description. I am taking any suggestions at the moment for podcasts. I want to do as many pieces of Lost Media. Make sure they're lost. Try your best to make sure they're still lost, because stuff that is even partially found, I'm not really that interested in. Definitely stuff that was lost in the past and then became found. I don't do that stuff anymore. I'm more interested in the completely lost stuff. So please, yes, bring them in the description. I know this video was about Shrek Lost Media that was uncovered recently, but I still think there's a few more test animations that will come out in the future that are still Lost Media. So we'll look forward to those. In the meantime, thank you what you've done for me. I can't believe it. I'm free. Just end this shit.
Big